So hi, welcome to End Credit Reviews. This is Tyler from End Credit Reviews.
And Stephen from Stephen Lawson Studios.
Yes, and we are doing something called, I think it's going to be Real Talk, or maybe I'll have it in the after the credits, probably Real Talk or whatever.
Bill Maher is issuing a copyright as we speak, but
Wait, Bill Maher?
yeah, Bill Maher for the Real Talk thing. But
Yeah, I'm for the type of crowd who is kind of tired of John Oliver and wants a sleazy guy who has a very punchable face and sounding voice.
yeah, the big Hillary apologist he is. But
Yeah, I like to slap both of them, but anyway, so we are talking about what happened last month. I know it's like really late, but we're going to talk about right now our experience at WizardCon. Basically, it was at the Chicago area one, at the Rosemont. We've never been to a convention like this one.
right, yeah, this was my first time doing something like this.
Yeah, me too. I've always wanted to do it. So we went there, and I felt like we found a good parking spot. And what's funny is that these guys were dressed up as the Ghostbusters. I was gonna say cosplay or whatever, and it was cool. Like we had help from the Ghostbusters, not the that train wreck of the 2016 female cast.
Yep, and we didn't even have to call. I mean,
Yeah, they were just right
they
there.
were just right there. They knew it was coming. So,
Yeah.
thank you, Ghostbusters. The
Yeah,
real ones.
yeah. So we went there, of course, and we had a fun time. We, of course, decided to kind of take turns on like who to see. So, of course, we saw Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman from Batman the Animated Series. And it was just a
Absolutely.
dream come true because I've grown up watching this show ever since I was a kid. He is why I consider to be the best Batman. Every time I read a comic, I hear his voice. Every time it's like Batman in the comic.
Got you.
Yeah. And he was about a half hour late, but a lot of these celebrity guests were late and that. And
Some were several hours, and that was just ridiculous.
yeah, I don't know if John Cusack showed up.
I got the feeling he just didn't, period, like a few people who were supposed to be there, but
I think I saw on the internet some people were posting like photos, and I think he showed up like really late, probably. But I don't know.
15
Maybe we
minutes.
weren't. Yeah, maybe we weren't around by the time he showed up. I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, what's cool is that when he arrived, he went on top of the booth and said his like Batman speech of like, "I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman."
Sure did.
Well,
Yep.
kind of like in that tone of voice, and not really like he said in the episode, "Nothing to fear." If you're wondering where that line's from. But yeah, it was really cool. I was definitely like clapping like this and applauding.
Yeah, I tried to whip out my phone to record that as that was happening, but of course it decides to poop and only get Batman, like, at the very end and clapping, and it's like, great, that's, yeah, I mean, I
He
guess
just
that's
has to say
something, but-
Batman and people will applaud him.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I just knew that I just wouldn't get the chance to get it all on video, so I decided to think at that moment, I'm just gonna enjoy this right now. And so we're waiting in line, and I was gonna have him sign this book of mine, which is Batman animated, but then we found out it was about a $40 autograph fee.
Yeah, that was something I had no idea about, and actually talking later with some friends who apparently go to this sort of thing much more regularly, they said that there's like an anime con, more specifically, that is kind of along these lines where you don't have to pay, but for WizardCon and some sort of Comic-Con events, you often do have to pay. So that's something for anyone hearing this, you need to know going in. Bring like minimum, if you want several people to sign your stuff, like $200 cash for these people, because they're ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I looked online just in case, and he wasn't mentioned at all about charging anything, so I assumed that it was free.
Yeah, I don't think it may have said on the website, but I sure as heck didn't see
Well, for
anything.
different, guest stars and celebrities and that, but I didn't see his name come up,
Right.
which was kind of bogus. So in the future, if he comes back or whatever, I'm definitely gonna be prepared for that.
Wad of cash for him, yeah.
But yeah, it was awesome to shake his hand, and he complimented my shirt, which was the Batman the Animated Series like logo, and I got a lot of compliments from people, and that was pretty cool. And that,
It was good, yep.
yeah. So then we tried to see David Tennant next because Steven wanted to see him because he's a big Doctor Who fan, but
Yeah.
he wasn't there.
That he apparently canceled pretty much the last minute. It was, I think he said, due to a personal reason or family reason, but
Probably personal reason.
yeah, and that's understandable. But I was kind of ticked because I was really hoping to meet him. We did meet Jenna Coleman though.
Yeah,
and
yeah, from Doctor Who. Why don't you tell your story about that?
Yeah, sure. So, she I think was probably the second person roughly that we met because we looked for David Tennant and he wasn't there, and then we're like, okay, well, there's Jenna. So, we go to wait in line, and there wasn't much of a line at that point for Jenna for some reason. Just some heavy panting Whovians in the corner who were, like more of who you'd expect, a bunch of American wannabe British people, heavy panting with their TARDISes and brown jackets.
Yeah.
But so we kind of just got past, and I wanted to meet her. We didn't have a whole lot of cash, and I wasn't.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to add in real quick with the people wearing like the brown coat jackets.
Mhm.
It'd be funny to kind of troll them saying like, "Oh, are you John Constantine?"
Oh no. Yeah, if they had blonde hair, that'd be perfect too.
Yeah,
Is that
definitely.
Yeah.
Or they could be like Constantine with Keanu Reeves because he had like the dark hair in that.
That's true. But in any case, we quickly met her, and she seemed pretty nice. Tyler and I asked her a couple questions about, how is it like working on the show? What do you do? What is, some stuff you're planning on doing next? And she briefly, talked about, how that was nice. But to me, she actually came off overall. Sorry if you hear this, Jenna, but a little bitchy that day. I'm sure some of it may have been, protocol and don't want, these peasants to try to pull a Borat and put me in a wedding sack and drag me off.
Yeah, which I recommended. Next time he should be in a cosplay as Borat with a wedding sack.
Absolutely.
Especially if like Pamela Anderson does there. You have to do it, Steven.
It's mandatory.
Just for that. Just
Yes.
like I gotta have that like camcorder ready on standby.
And have like Pamela written on the sack so she knows it's coming.
Well, I think you just dressed up as him with a sack that already, trigger like traumatic event like memories.
PTSD. The war with Kazakhstan. No, but meeting her, it was still fairly nice, but a little disappointing, I would say, overall. And she was much smaller in person than I was expecting.
Yeah,
Like,
she was like a mouse.
she was. It was very sweet, but
I think she was like 5 feet maybe.
I'm guessing probably a little taller, but not much. I mean, she was a little mouse. But,
Yeah, she was like had really thin arms too.
mhm.
So yeah, I don't know. And also was I felt like she was kind of distant. Was that unlike the other people where we could handshake them? It was
Mhm.
just fist bump.
Yeah, fist bump. Don't touch the peasants. Don't want to get their peasant juice on me. But
Yeah, hopefully she's not one of them British people who are still sore about the American Revolution, and it's like you are so beneath us.
yeah, watch though when we make it out to Hollywood or something and start doing well. Oh hey, you're those two. Oh, I had nothing against you. But
Yeah, I thought it was like something really bad. Like, remember that plumbers don't wear ties video game?
no.
Where that well, maybe I'll show you it later, but basically there's a scene where this woman goes for a job interview. You can like choose different events,
Oh boy.
and it's like choose the inappropriate selection, and the boss tries to like take advantage of her to like, oh, if you want the job or whatever.
Wayo.
And then she's like refusing, and they yells, "Take your damn clothes off!" And like,
yeah, I have not seen that. That's definitely
it's
not
one
what
of the
I was
best
going for.
angry video game nerd episodes ever. I'm just gonna say it right now.
Gotcha.
It's without a doubt one of his best.
Yeah, no, but if Jenna or Jenna's people somehow manage to hear this through the grapevine of the grapevine of the grapevine,
There is no Vine. This
yeah,
is YouTube.
That's right. R.I.P. Vine 2014. But
It's been dead that long.
it has.
I didn't know. I'd never done Vine at all, or was used Vine.
I did it for all of 20 minutes and was done. Like a lot of platforms, it's just like there's not a whole lot to do on this.
I think you made. I remember one video you did about when people talk crap about Transformers. You inserted a clip from the Boondocks.
Oh yeah, what did you say now? That one. Exactly, like
Yeah.
perfect epitome. But
I like how the fake YouTube comments, like there's fake profile pictures. One
Mhm.
showed like Barack Obama Facebook profile picture, like YouTube profile picture, and said, "I'm sorry, but I don't know what happened to me that day." Because some people joke like Thomas Dubois looks like Barack Obama.
that is pretty valid, yeah.
Yeah.
But any case, Jenna Coleman. I'm sorry if I caught you on a bad day. Love to, meet you for real at some point. In another
A lot better than
context.
last time.
Right. Yeah.
Me too.
But there were plenty of other people that were worth mentioning too. Like, Caleb McLaughlin, for example, from Stranger Things.
Yeah, there was supposed to be a few other of the kids from Stranger Things are supposed to be there, but
Mhm.
I don't know why they dropped out or whatever. And I think Elizabeth Olsen was supposed to be there that Saturday, but she dropped out.
Gotcha. That is unfortunate, but
Yeah, and he was just so great to be around because you can tell that he was having a fun time. This was like probably the first time he did it. And I think he was the only one that was not behind the booth. He was actually in front of it standing.
yeah,
He was that enthusiastic about it, which was cool.
he was fantastic. I mean, I can just say with absolute confidence, he was a genuine pleasure to meet. And, we asked him what he's planning on doing, and he talked about, well, I'm going to be doing a voiceover for a cartoon on TBS that's coming up. And so we talked about voiceover a little bit. He asked me about my impressions, and I did an Optimus Prime one that scared the person from
His
behind-
bodyguard.
that scared his bodyguard and almost made him jump over.
I remember that.
But that was a great experience overall.
Yeah, it would stop you if, something that happened.
Right. But yeah, just the tone shift and everything caused it, and it was great to meet him though. He's a great guy and genuine pleasure to meet. So
Yeah, and I asked him, like, how's it like working with Winona Ryder? Like, oh, she was such a great actress, and I can relate to her because, like myself, she also started off as, like, a kid in acting.
mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, it was really cool to do that, and I'm looking forward to watching the second season of Stranger Things when it comes out.
Same. I think it's mid-October when it's scheduled to come out. So,
Yeah.
Um,
And then another person we met in the voice acting field was Steve Blum, or Bloom.
Bloom. Yep.
Okay, I'm not so sure how you pronounce his last name, but I think I was one of the first people to meet him because he actually showed up kind of late.
You did.
And I asked him about a couple of shows. I mean, at least 3 of them. One of them was like, oh, cool, you were the voice of Wolverine on Wolverine the X-Men. And also another great show that ended too soon was Spectacular Spider-Man. He voiced the Green Goblin on there. And then out of nowhere, he did his like Green Goblin voice. He's like, yes, not too many people talk about him that much these days.
Right.
And it was awesome. And I asked him about, did you have any information on what the next season of those shows would have been like if that would have happened? And he said with Spectacular Spider-Man, they didn't really tell him much, and I don't think they went into the script stage by that point.
Mm-hmm.
But with Wolverine the X-Men, they actually wrote a lot of scripts out for it, and it would have been kind of cool. And I'm like, yeah, it'd be cool if we could actually, see those scripts and read them.
Right. Yeah, I remembered him from, well, where most people are going to remember him who are in our age group, probably the voice of the guy from Toonami.
Oh, yeah.
Who announced every Saturday. I've forgotten his name, but as in
The Toonami guy?
The Toonami guy, what his name was. But
Something like that.
I also remember him recently from Wolverine as that in what X-Men show was that?
Wolverine the X-Men?
Yeah, Wolverine and the X-Men, and also probably most recently Starscream and Transformers Prime, which he did a great job as. So he was great to meet, and I was very interested, especially in a lot of the voiceover people, because I'm looking to be more serious in voiceover. I'm doing voiceover for a few YouTube channels and stuff. and hoping to get serious about it at some point. But I asked him and another guy that we'll talk about, Victor Mignogna, who.
Yeah, I just wanted to say one last thing about Steve Bloom.
Mhm.
Was that he also voices Zeb on Star Wars Rebels, the show I really like. It's on right now.
Mm.
And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of cool. Like, yeah, he's like, he likes how he's like part of the Star Wars legacy right now,
Right.
and that, and he was definitely one of the best people there to meet.
Yeah, he was great, and him and Vic Mignogna are, along with Caleb, I think, are some of the highlights for in terms of what we talked about. There were, of course, we met Jenna and we met Kevin
Conroy.
and they were great to meet. But I feel like they had kind of that star presence where they kind of just were there to make some money, and if you asked them something, it was kind of just, okay, here's a passing comment, move on.
Yeah, get to the point, next in line.
And then the voiceover people, Caleb, etc., they really took the time to, explain. If you had a question, they were there to talk with you about it, and that was super considerate of them.
Yeah, and it was cool about Vic. I think he was a trooper. That it was his birthday that day that we went.
It was.
In fact, Steve Bloom, when he arrived, he started singing "Happy Birthday" to him.
That's right. We all started singing with him. So
yeah, it was great. And then we later went to a panel where he talked about like his days of like different stories about voice recording. It was really great. Remember the coffee story?
Yeah, that was. Maybe we'll have to post. I've still got that on my phone that we could upload at some point.
Share it on your Facebook page so our friends can see it.
Definitely.
But yeah, I just thought it was a real treat to see his panel in that. It was definitely really cool and such.
And for those who don't know exactly what Vic has done, we explained real quickly who Steve Bloom has done, but he's the protagonist in Full Metal Alchemist. He played Tai in Digimon. He was Broly in Dragon Ball Z. So he's done a lot of different voices that you'd probably recognize.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the last one to mention, because I think he might have been the last person we met, because he looked like he was busy at first because I guess he was with some of the press crew.
Mm-hmm.
But later in the day, I'm surprised how many people were at his table, and that would be Lauren Lester, the voice of Robin and Nightwing from Batman the Animated Series.
Yep.
I got to ask him a lot more questions because there wasn't really any people waiting in line.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, it was cool that Mask of the Phantoms got a Blu-ray release, and asking, is the animated series ever going to get a Blu-ray release? It's like, yeah, they should, hopefully come out with it soon in that.
Mm-hmm.
And also asked him, how's it like to work with Andrea Romano, who's the legendary voice acting director, who coached a lot of the voice acting on that show and a lot of DC animated universe shows, and also DC animated movies.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she said that he said that she's really great and that's really cool too. So yeah, I got to ask him more questions in that. But yeah, it was really fun. I liked all the costumes, like cosplay and that. And
yeah, there were some cringy examples, like the 70-year-old Wonder Womans with flabby arms, just
200-pound black cat.
Yeah, where's Dr. Poison when you need her?
I like how you called the there were Harley Quinns, then there were Heavy Quinns.
That's right, absolutely right.
Yeah, I love the someone like Ezio Auditore from Assassin's Creed. I want to be him for Halloween this year.
Mm-hmm.
I got the costume recently.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then also I like how someone did a cosplay of like Gaston and Wolverine, because Hugh Jackman played Gaston in the Australian adaptation of Beauty and the Beast for like their play.
That was funny.
Yeah, and also
in Deadpool, God hates Wolverine.
Yeah,
like the Westboro Baptist Church.
Also there's people. That's also kind of a reference to I guess people who like protest outside of like Comic-Con and that, and but also what's funny too is what was it? Oh yeah, it was cool seeing like all those swords and that from like different movies and shows.
Mm-hmm.
But then also this one guy. I think the funniest cosplay was someone did a cosplay of the you know how the noodle wavy thing outside like dealerships and
Oh,
that.
waving inflatable ardent tube man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great. In fact, there was a Game of Thrones like a chair that people were sitting down in,
Mm-hmm.
and that one character did that thing, and I'm like, that would be great if someone did a gag reel for Game of Thrones or like a TV spot for it. They all marched in like, who's this? And it shows like that.
That would be funny. I still didn't get my picture from that. That's
Me
probably
neither. I
down
searched
by now.
for it and
you?
and the link would not show up.
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah, that's weird. And that, but yeah, there were definitely a lot of attractive women there, and
Oh yeah, definitely.
in costume. Definitely, know that they can definitely look like the characters are trying to portray.
Right.
And some it's like, do you even know what a mirror is?
Very true. There were plenty of those.
Yeah, definitely. I guess we're gonna get flagged for inappropriate language.
Demonetized. Demonetized.
Not ad user friendly. Yeah, I guess they don't complain about a video where it shows like a kid getting hanged. It's like some rap video, I think it was.
Right.
From, but what we say is mean.
Let's talk about though that towards the end there was that furry. You remember him?
Oh yeah, the fur and like the armor.
Yeah, boy. That was kind of one of those don't make direct eye contact. Move very carefully. Don't be seen by it, and we might be okay. Don't let it mount you. But
Yeah, so that's our experience from WizardCon 2017 Chicago.
yeah.
And this is Tyler from Encoder Reviews.
And Stephen from Stephen Lawson Studios.
Yes, sorry this came out late. We've just been busy with college and that.
Mm-hmm.
So we hope to make more videos in the future. We hope you like this video a lot. Please like and subscribe.